Hi everybody, it's Paula and I'm here with a quick video of tips for anybody who's got tight hamstrings. It's the most common thing I hear about when people say they have tight spots. So I just wanted to give a few of the tips that I normally give in my classes, as well as what's helped me with my own tight hamstrings to try to help you in your practice, because I know yoga can get really frustrating when you have some muscle tightness. So hopefully these tips help you and these ideas help you, and you can remember them and use them in your everyday practice to not only build flexibility, but just have more grace and forgiveness around your tight hamstrings or whatever flexibility level you have in your hamstrings. So to start out, let's get into some forward fold modifications. Forward fold, of course, happens a lot in our yoga practice. So a lot of times we are focused on just getting to the floor, just getting our hands to the floor, getting everything down. Instead, I'd like you to start thinking about bringing the earth closer to you and just lifting your center of gravity to make your stretch not only safer, but more beneficial in the long run. So instead of just dropping down and straightening your legs and rounding your back to try to create a certain shape, maybe try bending your knees and bringing your hands or your forearms to the tops of your legs. This is called our skater variation, and I use it a lot in the beginning of classes or for anybody who's saying that they have tight hamstrings or some tension in their hamstrings. This is a great place to start. And then you start here, feeling the chest still forward and feeling the lower back still nice and flat. And if you have that, you can work on slowly straightening your legs. And as you can see, as my legs straighten, my back doesn't change. It stays nice and flat, and my chest just gradually goes down. And with that, once you feel like your chest is moving down, maybe you want to take it slightly further and let the arms get heavy. But still, my chest has that feeling of reaching forward, not just dropping down, and I still have lots of flatness in my lower back. And as you can see, my knees aren't even totally straight yet. If I would lock them out, that would not feel good. Keep it slightly bent until you build your flexibility, getting your belly closer to your thighs, and then maybe your hands can reach towards the ground and you can let your head and neck go. Now, letting your head and neck go doesn't mean your upper back rounds. It doesn't mean you create this shape, but rather you have that just tucking of the chin in. So you have some flatness in your back, tucking the chin in, rather than rounding and creating that kind of shape. So skater variation, and then slowly you can add on. Another idea when you're doing a forward fold is to maybe straighten the legs, but keep yourself in that flat back position. So hands can be at thighs or your shins, keeping your chest reaching forward. So for a lot of us, if you're tight back here, you'll feel the stretch just being in your flat back, your half back. Maybe this is as far as you go. Maybe every time they say in yoga class, come to flat back and then forward fold, maybe you just stay right here because this is enough. You don't have to do the extra thing if it means rounding your upper back and caving in. Seated forward folds are a little bit more tricky because you have less space to work with, right? Because you have the ground underneath you that's kind of forcing you into a certain position. So just taking one leg staff pose, for instance, the most important thing is sitting up nice and tall and being even on those sit bones. So you're here, you're pulling the toes back towards you. For a lot of people, this is enough. This is already a stretch. If it's feeling too intense with this, you can always bend the knees, but keep your toes pulling back towards you. That gives you that length in the back of your leg that you need. And then slowly you can work on straightening out. If you want to add on, think about reaching the chest forward, keeping that flat back. Same thing as you would in standing forward fold. So reaching chest forward, getting belly closer to thigh, rather than rounding and caving and trying to get your head to your knee, because that doesn't help anybody, and it's going to create a lot of tension in the back of your neck and your shoulders. So instead, stay lifted and long and lean forward nice and straight. Maybe inhale, lift and lengthen, and straighten even more forward. Lift and lengthen, straighten more. And you can add on as much as you want to. But remind yourself, you have those options of bent knees. You have those options of just practicing this sort of staff pose without even going forward. And if you're feeling frustrated or you're feeling like the class is kind of leaving you behind because you can't get into these deeper poses because you don't have the flexibility yet, remind yourself your position in your practice is perfect. Your position in your practice is perfect. Your beginning point, or your current point rather, is not going to be the same as another person's current point in their practice. Remind yourself of that. We all have our own things to work with. The person over here that might be really flexible probably has some issues with strength. They don't have enough strength in their legs or their core to support them through stronger poses like the warrior poses, where someone like you might have a lot of strength and stability. You could hang out there all day. So keep that in mind. Don't compare yourself to other people in practice. Don't compare yourself to anybody who you're watching on YouTube. Just make sure that it feels good for you and it feels good in your body. I hope this is helpful. If you have any other specific questions, please, please, please let me know. I am back teaching live yoga classes in person. So if you want more information about that, also comment. I can let you know my schedule if you're local to me. Otherwise, please like this video if it was helpful. Subscribe, ring the bell if you want yet another person bothering you on a regular basis. I would love to be that person. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.